of students to go volunteer at Sophia Way, which is this program that provides homeless women with free meals. And so with this, we have actual concrete evidence that we have made things work, and we will continue to actually make impact. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that it's better for vote for our ticket because we have realistic ideas that we have asked students, and they responded that they wanted these, and they will help the entire freshman body without sacrificing important things such as education, which is why we are sad to say.
Yeah.
Would you like to add on to our response?
Actually, we're running out of time, so does any other ticket want to answer the question before we? Yeah. Okay. So right now we're just going to open the floor to audience questions. So if you have a question, just feel free. Yeah.
Okay. So, given the rise of technology in our everyday lives, we see more forms of bullying, of missing, and less accountability on social media, and even things with plagiarism. For example, on social media, it's sort of hard to get on there because you constantly get judged. And even I take advantage of taking photos of textbooks so I can do it on the train and procrastinate a lot. So this plays into a lot of your pillars of your campaigns. So I guess my real question is how do you think the increased use of social media, websites, and in general, the internet, and your policies will affect people's homework accountability and everybody's day-to-day lives?
Raymond and Emily.
So that's a really great question. That's a really great question, Lex, and I'm glad you asked it. So we can't surf the internet 24/7 and make sure that people are doing their job correctly, because we're also students and we can't do that. It's not within our authority to do that. But we can social media is a double-edged sword. So some people use it to procrastinate, and some people use it to search up questions for AP Bio that they have absolutely no idea what the answer to is. So that's a great question, but we can only tell students to not procrastinate and do their job when they're supposed to, and do their work on time.
Yeah, just keep in mind that we obviously don't have the authority to control what students do with their time. So we can always send out, for example, those sleep papers that they send out, but we can't really enforce students to get off social media. So we can obviously send out maybe a sheet or a letter that explains why social media could be bad for you, but that's pretty much the extent of it.
Well, we're the voice of the people. We're gonna provide people with materials to actually succeed. We're gonna give them different resources such as notebooks, such as escalator schedules. We cannot force them to do anything because they elected us. We have to act in their own kindness. We are not supposed to be their guardians. We're not supposed to be like their parents. Why would we be their parents? We are only trying to promote them, and we're not going to promote them by ordering them to do something that they might not want to do.
Oh, and also, I think that other people are kind of downplaying technology and the role of social media, but it's actually quite important because you can use it to get the word out and you can use it to influence other people. So our campaign is going to use it to get words out and announcements out, and also to be able to show off the talents of other people.
Yeah, next question.
We can ask group-specific questions.
If I would actually prefer to take just general questions now first. Yeah. Okay, should we do? Is there campaign managers? Yeah. Actually, we're going to open up the floor for ticket Q&A. So this is the time when you have the opportunity of asking other tickets your questions. Please make sure to direct them to one specific ticket, and we'll have a 1-minute response time. Yeah, Raymond and Emily.
So I read your policies recently. Your campaign is Jung-Sokolov, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I've read your policies recently, and I'd like to say that your escalator schedule policy is really interesting because escalators don't break on schedule, and because you have a schedule where people come to fix them. So what if it breaks not on your schedule? So do we have to wait a day, a week, or a month to get them fixed?
Well, we're not making them break on a schedule. We're scheduling fixing times for the escalators because the SU and the school is already doing that. So we're trying to inform students of when the fixing times are and how to avoid the escalators. And we're also going to upplay the role of the escalator voting system. I think it's called Apollo. It's online, so that more students use it, so that it's more effective.
And not only that, you're saying that we don't understand. You're trying to say that we don't understand that escalators break randomly. We understand that. We're not trying to create a schedule for when the escalators are down, even though they're random. We're trying to create a schedule for basically what the school already does. They only send you emails when they're gonna maintain the repairs for the escalators, but we're gonna make a cohesive calendar so you can know way in advance before that happens. We're just providing you with materials. You want to use them, you can. You don't want to use them, tough luck.
Can I clarify my question, please?
Sure. 30 seconds though.
So what I meant was to say that these schedules don't break on a schedule, obviously, as we all know. So, like, what they do right now is because they're just simply stopped. Because some people, like, they jump on the escalators, and that's why they stop. So all they need to do is simply press the button in front of the escalators. They don't need somebody on a schedule to come and like look at the escalator and say, oh my god, it's broken, or it's completely fine.
No, we're not getting people to come and look. The school is setting up replacement, like they're setting up replacement schedules.
During the last SLT meeting, by the way, the October SLT meeting is right now on the first floor. But yeah, during the last SLT meeting, Principal Eric Contreras talked about how the school actually wants to replace the escalators. And they plan to do it throughout our years at Stuyvesant. We basically just want to get information whether or not they're going to replace them and how they're going to replace them. And then we want to put it in one spot. It's as easy as that.
Our policy says. Our policy is we're saying that we're going to tell students when the escalators are broken. And you guys are saying that like you guys are going to like have schedules for when the escalators are broken. But you clearly cannot have that.
You're saying, wait, are you saying that our policy is different from yours because of one word?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's move on. I think that there seems to be a miscommunication. Let's do Larissa and Jesse.
So this question is aimed towards Neon, which is Neil. So what steps are you going to take in order to implement the equal sports team funding? And do you think it contradicts your campaign's idea of implementing achievable policies?
Well, the thing about our campaign is that we're actually having unique ideas. One thing I'm hearing about other campaigns is mostly that they're basically expressing and telling you guys they're gonna do what their job is to do. So like talking to freshmen and getting their views is what you're supposed to be doing anyway. And many other ideas are already being done, so there really isn't any point, and you can explain.
Yeah, so, yeah, all right, hold on. So, basically what we're gonna do is, through funding, like most of the funding, as you can see, goes through the football team. Well, all the rest, there's the baseball team, the soccer team, the cross-country team, they got all the scraps, basically. So basically what we want to do is we want to team up with the SU and try spreading out the funding more evenly across all the teams. Because the football team doesn't really need that much funding. And I have a question for Jelly, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a question about your policy of giving open lectures. Because this is not only time consuming and inefficient, but during sing season and musicals and stuff, like many clubs need the stage. So basically, like, where are we gonna host it?
No, we're not going to be hosting them in an auditorium. We're going to be hosting them in any available room at the school.
Yeah, but there's hundreds of freshman students, so like, are you seriously gonna fit like 800 students in one?
No, not necessarily open lectures with the grade, but open lectures with their cabinet.
So you can come like share your idea. It's not everyone has to like meet up, like the whole freshman class. It's just if you're a freshman and you have an idea, you can come and listen, like share your idea and listen to how you want to plan it and how logistically it would work.
Yeah.
For the groups who discussed escalator replacement schedule, what are you going to do if Mr. Contreras decides not to have escalator replacements?
Well, the thing is, we have to stay realistic. That's our main goal. If he decides not to replace them, well, we're not gonna make a calendar that talks about replacements. But there's still gonna be maintenance days of the escalators because, as you might have seen throughout your month at Stuyvesant, there were days when the escalators were just blocked with a yellow line. That doesn't mean that the escalator was randomly stopped, it means that escalator was under maintenance. That's what we want to do. We want to have a maintenance escalator calendar.
Yeah, Erica and Sonic.
I have 2 questions for Jelly. The first is about funding. So under your policies, or they're both about funding actually, under your policies you want to implement 2 things I'd like to point out in specific: hand sanitizer dispensers and VR headsets. Now for the second point, the VR headsets, we ran a little math, that costs $500,000. Where are you going to get $500,000, Jelly? Please answer. And the second, how much does a hand sanitizer dispenser cost? Because I understand maybe you want to buy like a $10 gigantic bottle of hand sanitizer, but if you're going to be buying the dispensers and placing them around the school, how much realistically is this going to cost, and how are you going to get that money?
For the VR one, that one was actually listed under our ambitious goals, so we're not necessarily prioritizing that one at the moment.
And adding on for sanitizers. So while we don't know the exact cost, we know it's not going to cost over thousands of dollars just to put in sanitizer machines. So we can't tell you exactly how much it is going to cost, but we know like a rough estimate that like we can handle. You know, it's like it can be around a couple $100 maybe, but we know it's not going to go into the thousands. So it's something that we know is like realistic and can happen.
Right, and we can also secure sponsorships for students in order to hand out portable hand sanitizer.
Let's take.
Can I add on something real quick? So, one thing that the SU also does is when we're trying to get something to improve our school, oftentimes companies are willing to like lower their prices or like promote their products at our school. So we don't necessarily have to pay for the whole thing. We can obviously try to get companies to sponsor or like provide their products for a cheaper price.
Okay, cool. Let's just take 2 more questions from.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for Team Jung-Sokolov. You mentioned that you guys weren't going to take money from students, and we have Freshman Caucus has a very set budget. So for all that you want to achieve, how do you plan on doing that?
We're not going to take money from students. We're going to raise them in our fundraisers and things.
So that basically is taking money from students.
No, that's not.
Where is this money coming from? Is it not from students?
First of all, our policies do not require money. We already have, look, our policies are realistic, which means that we plan to get policies done that are almost nearly free and that can be achieved with just using the internet or trying to provide you, all of you, with some quality of life updates. So like our digitalizing textbooks system, AP Bio students have an online textbook. It was sent to them, but they never shared it on the SU website. We just want to put it there. AP students, that's a different problem. We want to tackle it the way the student union tackled it. We don't know how they did it. Perchance we might want to actually use our own money because as we talked, we're not going to take money from the students. If anything, we're going to use our own money.
One more addition to the question.
Right. So here's another point to go off of. You say that your policies aren't going to need money, and they aren't going to need any power from the student union or from the student body. So if you're such a self-proclaimed philanthropist, as Jung said, then why wouldn't you just do that for free and send it to the student union? Why do you need to be elected to caucus to implement those policies?
Why do you need to be elected yourself in order to implement your policies?
Because we need policy.
Okay, let's calm down.
You said it's not. We need power and money. You guys yourself said you do not need power and you do not need money. So why wouldn't you do it yourself for free if you're such a self-proclaimed philanthropist?
Because we will have more influence with the student union members. We will actually have more voice power with Julian, with Wishwa. In order to actually host stuff on the SU website, we need to talk to the IT crew. I don't think they're gonna take us seriously if we're just some freshmen that want to give them some stuff.
Okay, so for our last question, we're going to give it to Daniel and Andre. You guys have the option of asking another ticket.
Yes, I would like to ask the Satvik and Yerevan campaign. Why are you giving goals that are long-term and are basically promises that are really ambitious? Are you giving us empty promises that will?
Can you give me an example?
For example, your promise of accessibility, the Wi-Fi accessibility. It's not really a thing that a freshman caucus can do, is it?
Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe it's not a thing that just the freshman caucus can do, but the freshman caucus can and will be making effort to go and make this problem a little less, okay? We're gonna be, because a problem isn't solved by one plan or one action, okay? It's solved by a series of actions and a plan. So there are multiple steps you take in order to solve this problem. And so we can start and we can lay a foundation for our successors to go and to work on this problem more.
So what you're telling me is that you can't do anything, but you will try your best.
No, we're not. That's not what we're saying.
Okay, so one of the things I want to express is we can collaborate with the student union and other caucuses to do that. We ran some numbers, right? We looked at why the Wi-Fi is being slow in certain areas during certain times. And it turns out it's actually with the wavelength. It has to do with the wavelength of the Wi-Fi. And when we ran the numbers, we found out it'll take around $2,000 to $1,000, like somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 to do that. And that's for the full day. So we can straighten that down.
Sorry. Okay. So for our, we've run out of time, but please, with your, please summarize your ticket or your campaign with one sentence or a slogan. Yeah.
Helping freshies stay fresh.
Very nice.
Oh, us? Okay.
Yeah.
Less stress, more fun.
Simplify style.
Your voice, your vote.
Remember,
Don't
despair. Jung-Sokolov will get you there.
Inclusivity, diversity, and continuity.
Here to uplift your Stuyvesant experience.
Okay, and this now concludes the 2019 Freshman Caucus debate.